companies. Some are evil, and others are a little less evil, but there is one thing in common with every single one of them. They exist solely to make money. Some are selling a simple product, like an apple, but others are far more advanced. They will try their best to think of original, smarter, and sly methods to get that money out of you. In today's video, we will look in detail what kind of methods have been used in the Overwatch shopping update, and I'll explain how those methods work, how to avoid getting tricked and scammed by them, and at the end we will conclude if it's even worth to spend a single cent on this game. Why? A simple answer to why I want to talk about this topic can be answered in one word: awareness. I want you, my dear viewer, to be aware of every strategy, every tactic that is getting used against you. So every decision you make and every dollar you spend is well thought through and therefore not wasted. This knowledge is also very useful, not only in our silly video game environment, but also in your precious real life. So with that said, we can now easily begin our short analysis of the predatory monetization of Overwatch 2. Oh my god, he said the title!
There's two things that solve every problem: money and
double-jointed pussy.
We are going to start with the basics of most video games shopping systems, that is the built-in currency. You see this sort of method everywhere you look in games with a free-to-play model, and even in real-life shops. Overwatch has its gold currency, Clash Royale has its gems, League of Legends has its riot points, and real-life shops have their own gift cards. All of these forms are a way for you to exchange your real money that has its own value for something completely untradeable and not refundable. This currency you are obtaining can be only used inside the brand you bought it in. In the most bare-bones analysis, by buying these currencies you lose money. Even getting a gift card that is the same value as you bought it for makes you lose, because that $10 you just spent can't be spent anywhere else. But the company that got that money from you can spend it on more shitty battle pass trailers. Luckily for us, Overwatch allows its players to earn this premium currency in exchange for the playtime they sink in. Of course, this method of getting the currency is utterly slow and not very effective, and that's on purpose. By noticing your progress being very slow, you are tempted little by little to give in and spend some monies to make this process quicker. Video games are really smart about this system because they create out-of-way challenges or tasks for you to complete that most of the times feel like an annoying chore. You aren't forced to do them, but if you do, you are rewarded. This way, there is even bigger temptation put on the option of getting a shortcut. They make you do out-of-way tasks that they know are tedious and then make a solution to this problem that costs money. If you still don't get it, let me put it in one short and sweet sentence. The same thing that makes you do annoying chores is the same entity that gives you an option to spend money to skip this process. There are many more things I could describe in this segment, but there are more important stuff on our way. So to finish this segment, I'll quickly touch upon the increased value strategy. It's the fake increase in value the more money you spend in one go. So for example, when you want to buy 10 credits to a hypothetical game, the game charges you $10. So in short, we are presented with a one-to-one value, but then when the game offers you to get 25 credits, you only have to pay $20. Normally, you would go, wow, what a deal, but in reality, you are still spending real money with actual value attached to it for a virtual currency that is not refundable. Same with apples. If you buy one for $1, you can't go to a coffee machine and insert an apple instead of a dollar bill. Even if the offer was inflated to a 1:100 ratio, in our same hypothetical game or even the apple scenario, you are still at a lost position from a 100% rational standpoint. Overwatch has committed a sin called the gingerbread Bastion skin. I have talked about this topic in one of my previous videos, but since I am now dedicating an entire video to the monetization topic of this game, might as well revisit this relic of the past and remind you once again what kind of hidden scam is going on behind the scenes. The gingerbread Bastion skin was an epic skin available in the shop for limited time, that costed 1 golden coin. You might think that this is basically a free giveaway, but here I will show you 2 things the Overwatch shop accomplishes without you even noticing. First, this offer makes you willingly visit the shop page. Just you being there influences your choices, as you are forced to look at everything else that is offered outside the Bastion skin. You know how there are ads on YouTube playing before most of the videos? And you know how there are people who pay real money just so those ads will be played? Blizzard basically created an ad of their own, and you fell for it, by paying a visit to the shop page to grab a free sample. So that's the first factor. And the second one is that this offer makes you get used to spending your precious credits. After grabbing that skin, later you will remember that memory, and it might influence you to buy another one that might show up on a big discount. First will be the 800 credits skin. Later the prices might drop even lower to a generous 200, and soon enough you might fall into a trap of spending money left and right to get every single skin, or this waste of money your eye lands upon. And it was all thanks to the very first tiny domino piece, that was the 1 coin Bastion skin. You can translate this strategy to even the most random of things, like an apple. By just getting 1 bite of an apple, you do get the satisfaction of eating and tasting that sweet fruit. But to get that 1 bite, you had to go to an apple stand and get that sample. And in that stand, there are many more apples to get. But for all of those juicy apples, you need to pay for them. Firstly, you had to walk to that stand. So that's the first part of what that stand got out of you for free. And the second part is that you visually see the rest of the fruits around you. You already tasted one and it was great, so why not go for another if the first one was so nice? Going back to our virtual game, on top of that, the most casual of casual players who didn't do their weekly challenges and had 0 currency on them might have felt the feeling of missing out and might have gotten pushed into buying the cheapest offer of currency, which is the most horrible thing they could do. And if you think otherwise, then go back to the previous segment. The most efficient money machine companies have created thus far. In battle passes, players are rewarded with content in exchange for their playtime. This is a genius strategy, since you not only milk the people who are willing to buy the battle pass, but also the people who are dedicated to finish it for free. It's also the most lazy way to keep the players engaged long term in the game's lifespan. It's very easy to create a set of cosmetic items for a certain period of time and not add anything new gameplay-wise to the game, yet satisfy the brain-dead players who are happy with new content. But why am I so offensive right now? Calling some players not so clever, and in case I offended somebody, just deal with it. Imagine this. You have a house. It's a goddamn nice house. It has some rooms, furniture, running water, and even a table with an apple on it. Now there are these guys who are responsible for the entire house, but you still live in it. These guys come every few months and just do stuff. The first time they come, they paint your walls in some nice colors, put on new paintings on the walls and give you a carpet. And you're like, wow guys, nice job, I love how everything looks now, but I still don't have a toilet. Unfortunately, those guys, as I said, only come a few times a year, so you wait another period of time and they finally show up. They once again paint the walls, but this time in stripes and dots. They hang even more paintings on the walls, and they also put a kiwi next to the apple that is most likely in a not so great shape by now. You remind those lads, guys, I'm still missing that toilet. Can you just expand my house or add a separate wall so I can have a nice bathroom? And they're like, here's a bucket. Now buy the battle pass. This is basically the battle pass system. The work that could have been put into the amazing bathroom you dreamed of, or the additional story for the entire building with fully fleshed out offices and bedrooms, or even a bonus garden with a garage called PvE, but instead you just get wall paint. And in the time you wait for the renovation crew to come back, you can only stare at the paint as it dries, slowly watching how the house collapses on itself, because if you don't renovate the foundations, the entire structure of the house will fall and be abandoned. It will decay, it will rot, and at the end, it will eventually die. This is the part where I finally say that I am not your father, at least from what I know so far. Just in case, go ask your mom. I am not responsible for your personal money, and I am not the person who will tell you what to do with it. So, with that being said, if you think that getting the Overwatch credits or any in-game currency to buy the battle passes or just simply overpriced skins from the shop, you do whatever makes you happy. At the end, all that matters is the happiness we experience throughout our lives. Also, I didn't say much about the shop itself, but I personally think that with the knowledge gathered by you throughout this short lecture will be enough for you to analyze it yourself. With this video coming to an end, I hope you will pay closer attention to seemingly harmless marketing strategies and you will think twice before reaching a point of no return. Or should I say, no refund. Stay safe out there and remember that at the very end, the biggest scam of our human history are the gift cards and apples. Thanks for watching, have a lovely day, bye bye.